5.01 is my attempt to redistribute the $9.3 billion contained in fiscal year 16 through 20 CIP plan by allocating 9.09% evenly among all 9 council districts. First thing I'd like to do, Mayor, is to thank you and your administrative team for meeting with me this week. I think we've made significant progress, and I look forward to continuing dialogue. So thank you, and Mr. Newport and Mr. Thomas, very much. Unfortunately, this policy and this item and the whole CIP plan places me in a really tough spot. And I say that because in order to create what I call equity, I need to fight my fellow council members for the CIP money that's been allocated to their districts. And I don't like doing that, but I have no other choice to stand up for my district. I have to do this because the variance, with one district having 22% of the CIP dollars, in my district having only 3%, is, to use a term Councilmember Green states, egregious, and it's also not equitable. So one of the greatest accomplishments I think this council has done came from Councilmember Bradford, and that was our council service budget. They're equitably distributed, $1 million apiece. We share equally so that all council districts can serve our constituents in the way that we deem appropriate. I think that was the greatest accomplishment we've achieved while I've been on this council. I'm a council member that totally believes in a thriving downtown area, a thriving medical center, a thriving Galleria Center. I think there are great things that are accomplished at Eleanor Tinsley Park, a great master plan at Memorial, and I'm fully supportive of that. But an allocation of a mere 3% of the total $9.3 billion in CIP is embarrassing. It's not equitable, and it's just fundamentally wrong. Now, do we, the folks in District E, want all of our tax dollars returned? No. No. But we want a fair share. We absolutely want a fair share, and 3% is not a fair share. And I won't call out council members because I don't do that, but one district receiving 21%, 3 districts receiving 6%, 1 district receiving 5%. That is not equitable. You have in front of you what I would call Exhibit A. When you look at the last 4 years' allocation of funds, you can see the inequity that has been accomplished. Oh, by the way, this is an attempt to foster a conversation about policy and process. Our process is fundamentally flawed when it comes to CIP allocations. 2013, we have a distribution of 134.3% of the dollars. I don't know how you do that. In calendar year 2015, we have 110% of the dollars distributed. I don't know how you do that. In 14 and 16, we have 100%. You can't distribute more dollars than you have, so I'm a little lost on how we get those figures. But you can look at the council districts over the last 4 years and who has the money and who doesn't have the money. Last council meeting, Mayor, you brought me up with a term that I'm not very familiar with. I never heard before, and that was vertical CIPs. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, your comment was vertical CIP dollars are divided evenly among the 11 council districts. Well, if that's indeed correct, all council districts should have 0, because I have 0. Councilmember Pennington has 0. So if they're distributed equally, we all have 0. That's not the case. So how is this all equitable? How does this process work? What are the policies that we need to look? Maybe not this year, but moving forward as this body continues. Do we want community centers and libraries that are vertical? Absolutely. If you look at Exhibit B that I passed around, you see there's an inequitable distribution of the vertical CIPs. So this whole process is flawed. Another phenomenon that many of us are seeing is that our projects are being pushed out. There are projects that fall in our area on CIPs that are not in our area. I'll show you 2 examples. Fire station number 95 in the Clear Lake area has been pushed out a couple of years. When you look at the Kingwood Drive project that I'll be talking about in 5.03, if you look at what I call Exhibit C, the numbers are changing. They're moving all the time, and I get that. But when you look at $11 million that came out of DDSRF and have been pulled out to 0 And now we replace that with a category top called TxDOT. So what we're saying is, Martin, you don't get any DDSRF dollars. We're going to replace that and we're going to give you TxDOT money. Well, guess what I did? I looked at the TxDOT 5-year CIP plan, and guess what's not on it? Kingwood Drive. So how, Public Works and Engineering, can you tell me that you're going to give me money from TxDOT when TxDOT does not have it in their plan? So I want my money back for that particular project, and we'll talk about that later. So what I ask each council member, especially my at-large brothers and sisters, because when I have a CIP meeting, let me finish up this one quick statement. Please.
No, you can't extend his time. You can, if y'all stay silent, you better finish quickly.
Okay, when I have my CIP meetings, I invite the at-large guys, and I give them the floor, and I give them the opportunity. My opening statement always, you have 6 council members that represent you. Not only me, but your 5 at-large. So they have as much ability and power as I do. So I will get back in the queue, but thank you for that.
Indulgent. Council members, Councilmember Martin, I know you know this. We said this in the footnotes to everything we send you. Sometimes the numbers add up to more than 100% because projects that cross district lines, we acknowledge they get double counted. Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. I very much appreciate Councilmember Martin's advocacy for his district. I think it's commendable, and I know he's always fighting very strongly for his district, as all of us do as well. Just looking at the administrative response, just to be clear on what's happening here, basically, it's not just about moving money, though. It would also, in essence, kill projects, correct? Or I'm looking at the notes here from the administrative response.
Yes, sir. And Councilmember Martin offered 2 similar amendments. And as we say, the problem we had, the line that he took, that he was using to redistribute, the first one doesn't make a distinction with enterprise funds or TERSs. The second one pulls the TERS projects out, but still doesn't make a distinction on the enterprise funds. Not that I am supporting his amendment, but if he were to offer one that says, non-TERS, non-enterprise, specifically want it to be distributed citywide in equal amounts, I think that would be something that might resonate with council members, but yes, it would cause projects to be killed in most council districts.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. I just looking at the CIP and looking at the percentages from Councilmember Martin's presentation. Again, I would have higher percentage when our percentage is wrong because, again, I believe we're looking at Market Square. I'm not mistaken, and that's $11 million construction amount. So I don't understand how we could. I mean, it says I have a higher percentage, but in essence, I don't.
I'm sorry, Councilmember, what do you? Councilmember, I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Yeah, so.
You have a project that's listed in your district that is not in your district?
Correct, and it's a $11 million project.
Was that something that was pointed out during the CIP meetings that they had with you? We should have corrected it.
Yeah, I did, but I don't know. I think I did the smaller form, and then when they presented us here.
Jennifer's out there. I'm asking.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's in the revised one. It shouldn't be in there. It's been corrected.
It's been corrected. So do we know what percentage right now?
I don't know where the Councilmember Martin got his percentages. It's not our.
Yes, ma'am.
Unless it's from it. We sent the following information to council.
Okay. Sorry.
Then that should be based on the.
Sorry, I just got it on the finance department's website. That's why. Okay. So.